All right. Do you have any suggestions about how to deepen or complicate the middle? What sort of questions to ask, etc.? So we get into this in, I think it's module 6, but I would say the most important thing is to be willing to be surprised. Like, be willing to let your characters be surprised, be willing to be surprised yourself. I think when you get into the middle, speaking of control, I think we start to, in the same way that when we're, if you were in the middle of the ocean and sailing, I should probably stop this analogy here because I don't know how to sail, but I'm just going to keep going. If you were in the middle of the ocean and sailing, like, you might start to hold on tighter to things because it's scarier when you don't see a horizon in any direction, when actually what you need to do is the opposite. So I think in the middle, we can start to feel like, here's what I find. In the middle, my creative mind or inspiration or creativity, which is its own force, whatever you want to think of it as, it starts to want to pull me in these directions that I, as the author, did not anticipate. And I feel in those moments a little bit of like, no, we're not going that way. I need to get there. Like, I have set out to go there. I'm going to this destination. And I think that's wrong. Like, that feeling is just wanting to retain control, when that pull in surprising directions is the story trying to go where it wants to go, and you need to follow it. Yeah, it's scary because you don't know, it could take you way off track. It could happen. Like, that is a possibility. But I find typically that's not what happens. Like, it takes you in an interesting direction, and then it comes back around to where you were headed in the first place, or to somewhere close to that. So I think it's this willingness to kind of let go of control. And in terms of what questions to ask, I think that the main one to ask is, what's going to stretch my character and what's going to stretch me? And I think when you ask that, you're going to come up pretty quickly with some answers. You don't have to go with the first answer that comes to mind. You maybe sit down and brainstorming what's going to stretch my character and what's going to stretch me in this moment. But I think when you feel it, it's going to feel like a stretch, and that's good.